I'm back. Yay. Greetings everyone, and welcome back to the first video of 2022. I have taken a 3-week break and I'm back to make content. And the first thing to start off 2022 is another installment in the iWish series. A series in which we investigate products that are primarily sold on Wish to see if they're any good. Most of the time they're not, but hey, you never know. We could get something really exciting this time around. I highly doubt it, but let's continue on. Now, the item that I did not purchase directly from Wish. I instead found it on Facebook Marketplace. I've recently been browsing Facebook Marketplace a lot and found quite a few good bargains here and there. So was what I bought a good deal? Probably not, but here it is anyways. It was listed on Facebook Marketplace as the MP5 8GB with no charger, but you can charge it with a phone charger. There was 3 instances of the word charge there, but anyways, there it is, and the second picture is just the back of it, and it was $20. That's how much I paid for it. And unfortunately, it did not come with the original microSD card that was promised with this on the Wish listing, but it does have some preloaded games on it already, but I've had to put mostly my own games on this thing. But what is this thing on Wish? Get ready everyone, because this is going to be a bit of a mouthful to say. Today we're looking at the latest X12, X7, 5.1, 4.3-inch portable video game console handheld game MP5 player with 20,000 free games for PSP Retro, dual rocker joystick, HD color screen, support TV out for GBA NES, 20,000 free game with free gift headphone. This is currently selling for $44 Australian and $17 shipping, which I'll display a currency conversion chart on screen for you all, so you get a rough idea of how much this thing costs around the world. And straight away the picture, free 30,000 plus games with Bowser in the corner and multiple things that this thing can do. I'll give you a little clue. It doesn't do a lot of them. It's a Final Fantasy something screenshot there, 8GB, best gifts for kids. I don't know why you would want to torture your kids by buying this for them, but fair enough. That's completely fine. If you don't want to shell out and buy a Switch or find a pre-owned PS Vita, you could just buy this Nintoni Sweeter or Sotendo Vitch. Just combine the two together, it's good. Also more lies, 4K Ultra HD, 128-bit, 5.1-inch HD screen, support TV output. I've got a couple of models here which I'll show you soon, but I've got the 4.3-inch one. Also just quickly, it's got 3.9 stars out of 5 with pretty good feedback. Everyone just happens to love this console for some particular reason. Well, obviously there's some sort of redeeming factor about it, obviously. Let's take a look at the pictures in the listing and get a better idea about this thing. So once again, another picture showing the 7-inch version, but I've got the 4.3-inch version, and there's a whole bunch of old icons there. HDMI 720, but then it says 4K Ultra HD down the corner. That's okay, that's quite normal for us. There's the comparison list there, so you got the X6, X7, X7 Plus, and the X12. I've got the X7, which looks like a PS Vita that got fused with a Nintendo Switch. It's a multi-function game console, supports video playing, music playing, ebook, and other functions. Why does the dog look like he's on some sort of drug there? I have no idea, but anyways, continuing on. Supports 12 major simulators: arcade, boxing series, FC, Famicom, GBA, MD, Megadrive, NeoGeo, NES, NES CS, no idea what that is, SFC, Super Famicom, SMC, which is Super Nintendo, GB, which is Game Boy, and GBC, which is Game Boy Color. What is boxing series? I have no idea, but we'll get to that when we power it on. 5.1-inch LCD HD display, that is not the one we have, but that's a good Photoshop job there. Also, the bigger version has the minus and plus buttons, like the Nintendo Switch, but the 4.3-inch one that I have does not have that. All in one machine, MP5 player, movie, image, browsing, ebook, recording function with, what's his name from Street Fighter? About 63,000 people are going to tell me in the comments what his name is. Is it Ryu? Hadouken? I don't know. Also, yes, MP5 player. MP5 is a weapon. Also, MP5 doesn't exist in the multimedia world, unless I'm just not aware of it yet and it's going to come out in about 4 years or something like that. TV output, supports AV output, and enjoy larger screen. Remember, this does 4K output. I don't have the cables to actually test that, but I highly doubt that. Good voice quiet listening, supports MP3, WMA, OGG, ACC, WAV and APE, or WAV and APE, FLAC, dual lossless music. The screen's the wrong way, playing Adele there, and it's an X1 anyways, that's confusing. Moving on. Long endurance time, built-in 2000 mAh large capacity rechargeable lithium battery. It can ensure long endurance time with a derpy lizard dragon just sort of standing there going, yep, this is gonna last. And as you can see, it's got a big battery. All-round upgraded hardware system with the SL chip. That's it, SL chip. Nothing else, just SL chip. And we've got some more stolen artwork here, feel free to tell me where that's all pinched from. Double Rockers handheld arcade, perfect play the game. Yeah, we'll get to the controls when we start having a look at the console. They're not that good at all. Play 8 simulators. It said 12, now it's down to 8. Support 8 simulators compatible with massive game history, multi-game support download. Now, judging by the emulation list, there's not a lot of stuff you can emulate on this thing. Not just compatibility-wise, but the actual games themselves. We'll get to that soon. Comfortable grip with both hands, fighting back the feeling of childhood long lost. Yeah, holding this just feels like a hunk of hollow plastic. I can tell you all now that a Game Boy Color weighs double as much as this thing. Once again, another comparison shot of all of the different models there. Oh, here we go. We've got some advertisements saying that it's got a built-in professional game chip for powerful performance and smoother games. That's bullshit. Double rockers and crystal key, more smooth buttons in various operation modes. That's bullshit. HD entertainment function, video, ebook, music, etc. Free download of massive games. Provide cloud disk resources. That's bullshit. This one's crossed out for some particular reason that says batteries last longer. We've got a picture just showing all of the different buttons on the console and all the ports and all that sort of thing. The back that has the camera, we've got the switch key, headphone port, microSD card slot, data charging cable, all that sort of thing. The packaging looks like this. Now, it does say PowerKitty, but this is not a PowerKitty console. I don't think it is anyways. I know PowerKitty actually makes some decent emulation stuff, but this seems to be a rip-off of a cheapo product. I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't say PowerKitty on it. It just says it on the instructions there. It could be just photoshopped in, not too sure. But the box just is Call of Duty, and then a white PS Vita on a blue box that says World of Entertainment. Good stuff. And as for the description, I'll display it on screen for you all. This is the X7 and X7 Plus game console specifications. Pretty much everything that we have went through. It does say stereo sound effect. High fidelity stereo speakers, which does not exist on this model anyways. Also, it says that the TF card, microSD card, is not included, but it says that it comes with 30,000 games or 20,000 games, so they would have to include the microSD card, or unless there's hidden games on there that I have no idea how to access. That could be a possibility. And that there, my friends, was a very, very long look at the listing. We get a rough idea of what this thing is. A $60-odd cheapo console sold on Wish that promises to play a whole bunch of games. You're too cheap to buy your kids a Switch or find a second-hand Vita, because they're getting harder to find now. Instead, you opt for this because it says it plays a whole bunch of things. How well does it do in the performance department? Let's check it out. Here is my PS Vita here that I bought from Cash Converters quite a long time ago. Does this still power on? I haven't powered it on in such a long time. I wonder if it holds battery life. That would be a no. But yeah, PS Vita. Sad it didn't do as well as, we all hoped it would. It's still a great console, but I basically just put this away when I ran out of games to play for it. I do have the second model, which I have put some custom firmware on, but I haven't really played with it since. I just use my Switch for handheld gaming now. But this is the PS Vita, all original. Got a lot of fingerprints on it. And presenting our Nintoni Sweeter thing that... Yep, this thing. So straight away, it's a bit smaller than the PS Vita, ever so slightly. Basically, everything is in the same place. The D-pad is slightly different on the Knockoff. The buttons are in the same place, except they're not the PlayStation buttons. They're A, B, X, and Y. Instead of a camera, we've got a microphone, I think. We've got the dual analog sticks. I'll get to them soon. Select and start, like the same layout on the PS Vita. Instead of the PlayStation button, we've got escape. At the top, everything is kind of in the same place. The shoulder buttons, the camera bump. Obviously, no card slots there, but we do have the on button, a switch, a microphone. Maybe there. Maybe there's two microphones. Maybe that holds cosmetic. I'm not too sure. And we've got the volume buttons just there as well. And on the bottom, doesn't really look the same. We've got a mini USB port, TV out, headphone jack, reset button, and the microSD card slot, as opposed to the PS Vita, which just has the proprietary charging port and headphone jack. The sides are pretty much identical, but the back of the console looks a little something like that. The camera is in the same place. The touchpad just has the fake Joy-Cons that they've just painted on this thing, and these are the speakers, unlike the rubber grips that are on the actual PS Vita. But in a comparison to the PS Vita, it's just looks only, and then the rest of it just takes on a Nintendo Switch just by the color scheme. That's basically it. And that's not even red, that's more of a pinkish color, and that blue is a very depressing blue. But we're off to a good start. Alrighty, so I paused filming and just put my PS Vita away. I've now scratched the screen up completely because this is a plastic screen that's on here and it got easily scratched by my microfiber cloths. I have no idea what's going on, but anyways, let's take a little bit of a look at this. As you can see there, MP5 player, 4x digital video camera, auto optical zoom. I wonder how much of that is actually true. It's the X7 and the rockers, the analog sticks, just sort of spin around. They're completely useless. Basically, the D-pad is assigned to that, and those buttons are assigned to this. So if you press up, that's X. If you press down, that's B. If you press that way, it's Y. That way, A. etc. The shoulder buttons are very hard to push. The D-pad is very mushy and just, yeah, it's not the greatest at all. And yeah, it's just hollow. Nothing in there. We've been through listing, we've been through the painted sections of the console. It's just literally painted on. Good job, guys, good job. Wait, that's where the camera on the PS Vita is. No, that's the LED indicator, which shines through here. I'll show you that right now. So if we power this on, now I'm going to warn you all, there's going to be a whole bunch of pinched, stolen artwork from games shown on screen. I believe they're all from Tekken, but you may have to go frame by frame and have a look at these. So I'll power this thing on. Okay. So, yep, Tekken. Tekken, 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 Tekken. Don't put YouTube subtitles on. I don't know what that'll tell you. It's reading the microSD card, which I put a 8 gig one in here, or something like that. I don't know. This is it booted up. Now the screen, if you tilt it, does actually have some decent viewing angles, but when there's a lot of light on this, you can't really see the screen. And if we go close up, it's not the sharpest display on the block, that's for sure. It's probably 480 by something. When I tear this down, I'll have a better look at the screen, but we have default games on here. The first game is COV Plus. The next one's All Legend. The next one is Wolf, Dine War, F-Fight, SF2, Capcom, not Capcom, Capcom, Dino, Punisher, 1944, Unsquad, and MS Word. MS Word, yes, I read that correctly. That's all the default games that I got with this, so no 20,000 games or anything like that. It is just as it is. Also, the sound effects are, pretty sure that's from Windows CE, but I could be wrong there. The options we have are game, movie, music, camera, photo, ebook, file manage, tool, setting, theme style, and we're back to the start. I guess we should start testing out this console. Obviously, I'm going to leave games till later on. So let's go through the general functionality of this device first. The on button itself doesn't actually do anything. The on and off switch is there, and the on button just serves no purpose. The shoulder buttons can be used to navigate left and right. The analog stick can be used to... Yep, it's good, and yeah, this is to... See? Select and start. Don't do anything at the moment, and escape doesn't do anything. Now notice the speaker grills right here, but the sound is actually coming out from just there. Just one little speaker. And yeah, it's just really not that comfortable to hold. It's just holding a slab of plastic and that's about it. Also, the LED indicator, you can just ever so slightly see it there. Just popping out through that little tiny hole, but there it is there. So it's more coming through the crystal shoulder buttons than anything else. And the screen brightness looks a little something like that, which is definitely not the brightest that I've seen. Alright, let's test the performance of this. So let's go straight to movie. And it says no file. Okay, we're off to a good start. Music? You've got local disk, move disk, and record. So if we go to local disk, there's nothing on there. Move disk, I have put BFG division on here. So for the first time in a long time, we're going to be doing the speaker test at pretty much the start of the video. Go maximum volume, and we'll play BFG division on the Nintoni Sweeter, or Sotendo Vitch, whatever you want to call it, man. Look at that equalizer go, and the background's, you know, kind of Doom looking as well. Looks cool, can't complain with that. The volume is 30 there. Okay, kind of sounds like it's coming out the front a little bit more. I'll test it twice. (102.1) we got 2. Speaker quality is not that great. It will do for the most part if you just want to play some standard music through this. If you want to use it as a music player, you could do that. But the speaker is probably equivalent to just the usual welcome devices we have a look at. Surprised this didn't say welcome on boot up, but it's pretty much that quality. Also, now that I've bumped the volume up to absolute maximum, so we gotta fix that. There we go, much better. We have camera up next, which looks a little something like this. Now, if you do remember in the listing that we talked about for about 10 minutes, this does say that it does video, and including this right here that has digital video camera 4x auto optical zoom. I have pressed every button on this device. This does not take videos. You just that's it. You've taken a photo. I've tried to zoom in. I've used the rocker buttons. I've used the on button, the D-pad, everything. Nothing works. Nothing. It's just you press these to take a photo and that's it. I have no idea how to trigger video mode. There is no options for it. So it is just a very basic, probably 0.3 megapixel camera. I don't remember the size of the images. I will quickly look them up after the camera test. But I have taken photos with this. I will splice them in now, and you can all just judge for yourselves the quality of the camera on this MP5 digital video camera game console thing that can't record videos. Enjoy what you're about to see. Alright, well that was the photos. It was very quick. 1.23 megapixels is what we have on this. And if we go to photos, you can see the images that I took with this, and you get a little toolbar to zoom in or enhance like they do in Law and Order and stuff like that. Look at that. Oh, that's enhancement. I'll just say it's acceptable for the price of this thing. I mean, we've seen worse quality on Wacom devices that are $100 plus, so I'll give this just a reasonable pass. Yeah, I can't work out how to record video. Probably would have helped if I had got the instructions with this, but unfortunately the seller on Facebook Marketplace didn't have the original box or anything like that, so I'm just guessing here. eBook says no file. Even though I've put a text file on here, we'll go into File Manager and I'll be able to show you. See, eBook, there it is there. It just doesn't want to read for some reason. And if you want to read that, and that is what a text file looks like on this, with the background stolen from the PS Vita, I believe. And yeah, I ran this through Google Translate a few times, and somehow through doing that process, s'mores turned into smalls. Well, while we're in File Manager, I've got all the folders here for the games, but we'll come back to that. If we go to Movie, I have got the Costa Rica 4K 60fps HDR Ultra HD video on here. Now, this is a 720p video. I didn't want to put a 1080p on here to stress this out. I didn't want to overload the powerhouse of a system and chip that's in here, so I've just got a 720p video, I think at about 5 megabits a second, I think. But this is what Costa Rica in 4K, well, not in 4K, looks like on the X7 thing. I'll just bump the volume up so you can hear the audio, and that's what it looks like. I don't know if the toolbar disappears. There it goes. Surprisingly, this is quite smooth, but it is a low quality 720p file, so I can't really do terribly much about that. I could have put the 4K file on here, but let's just assume that video playback is gonna be reasonable. But the thing is, you can't take videos with this and play them back, so you've got to download videos, chuck them on here, watch them on this. You're not going to be using this as a multimedia player when the phone in your pocket can do everything plus more than this thing. In Tool, we have Record, but this is not the record you think it is. This is just to record a voice clip. So if I was to go like this and record a voice clip, I can do so. I have already recorded a voice clip, and this is what it sounds like. Is this recording? This is recording. This is the microphone quality of the Nintendo, Sony, Switch, Vita rip-off thing from Wish. I hope this sounds really good. Which, I'll give it credit, doesn't actually sound too bad at all. It's more than acceptable. So if we could take videos with this, the microphone would probably be of acceptable quality. And the camera quality, well, that would kind of let it down. So the microphone's probably the best bit about this so far. Maybe the display. In setting, we have display, which the brightness is on level 10, but it's still very dim. Music is background 1. Oh, there's other backgrounds. Let's do random. Hang on, we'll go back to music. Oh, okay. Okay, it's just the same one. That's fair enough then. Oh, wait. No, it changed. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Wait. I think that was pinched off Nokia, the green one. Is that pinched off Nokia? Or Windows Vista? I'm not too sure. Photo, switch mode, auto, time, and circle mode. Nothing really to look at there. Movie, just font, color, circle mode, and subtitle position. Explorer, sort mode, system, language, auto off, close screen, keytone, system information, 6.79 gig with 6.78 gig free, and the SOF version is 2008-08-1206. And then you just get the option for yes. And then restore defaults, and that is all that's in settings. No cloud download as it claims. And then you have theme style, which changes the wallpaper to your choice of blue, 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 and back to blue. So I think at this point in time you can see this console is fairly useless when it comes to most of the major functions that it advertises, like video playback and stuff. So at this point in time, it's a pretty useless device. It's just a cheapo device that can play some basic stuff. This is running, I don't know what OS is actually running, probably a Java-based one most likely, I'm not too sure. But the main feature, of course, with this is gaming. So let's go ahead and start to play some games on this. Now we've got the default ones first, which I believe are all MAME or arcade ones. But I've tried to put MAME and arcade files on here to play them, and I cannot do it for the life of me. I've tried several different ways, and it just doesn't work. We'll start with Cov Plus, because I don't know what these games actually are. I haven't really tested all of them, but I know 1944 works. I did test that. So, yep, loading bar, right, okay. PGM, Polygame Master. 3D logo there, looking good. Oh, February 1st, 2020. Huh. 2020 was a great year. So, yep. Yeah. It's a fighting game. So it looks pretty smooth there, alright. It's, okay. Yep. So yeah, it's looking pretty smooth. We can choose from a bunch of dudes here. We'll just go with red bandana guy. That'll do. Alright, I don't even know the title of this game and what it's kind of saying there. Let's just agree with that. Okay. Here we go. This is running at about 12 frames a second, maybe? Oh, no, it's a little bit more now. This is just a beat 'em up. What more can you really do, I guess? But yeah, you can insert coin by just pressing select, and you just beat up a bunch of blokes here and do some awesome combo moves, and there you go. That's that one. So let's go to the next one, which if you press escape, it shows the setting menu. So you go exit. You can do saves and loads at certain points, which is kind of nifty for an emulation console. But let's move on to All Legend and see if it actually tells us the name of... Yeah, it's Oriental Legends, this is called. Yeah, see how it loaded that there? Which I can say is arcade or MAME, but just, I can't do it. This game is for use in China only. Okay, we've broken the law there. No idea what this is. We'll choose the pig. Whoa, he's big now. Big pig. This is just another beat 'em up. And we're in the year 2041 now. Accordingly. And there's lightning that I just got struck with. Oh, okay, I just used a power move there. Am I holding a rake? Am I attacking them with a fucking rake? Yep, I believe so. I'm now punching them. Yep, so that's another fighting game there. That ran a little bit better than Cov Plus. We have WOF, Woof, Warriors of Fate. There you go, from Capcom, 1992. Warriors of Fate, there we go. This game is for use in all countries, excluding the United States, and I didn't get to read that. Warriors of Fate, here we go. My lord. I didn't read that. I know. Okay, let's go. Let's start. I'll just choose Porter. Let's go ahead and do some beat 'em up stuff. Oh my god, I'm on a horse. Holy fuck. Whoa, look at me go. Get the hell out of my way, I'm on a horse. Yeah, this runs okay. It's the same as the last two games, except I'm on a horse now. Let's move on to the next one, which is Dine War, which I have a feeling will be the same as it's Dynasty Wars. Workrams, Scroll 1, something or other. Yep, all good. Yeah, it'd be probably the same thing, I'd say. I'm not too sure. I'm not really familiar with these games, so forgive me. I just don't know what I'm talking about at this point in time. Yep, cutscene, hell, horses, people, stuff, things. Okay, we're obviously choosing... Let's choose Shang Fei. Yep. Subdue Huang Qing. Okay, I probably shouldn't have said that. Oh, I'm on a fucking horse again. Take that. Haha. You can't get me because I'm on a horse. I can trample you all to death. I can't trample you all to death, so I'll just attack you with my spear harpoon thing. Okay, so that's this, which is pretty much the same thing before and doesn't run too bad. But you may have noticed something. Most of those games, I would say, back in the day would have been in 4:3 aspect ratio on an arcade machine. Because this is a 16:9 aspect ratio screen, everything's in 16:9. Absolutely everything. No way of changing it. Final Fight, I would say, is up next, which it does say Final Fight there, and it's checking all the arcade stuff. Here we go. Put in some coins, and we should be good to go. Yep. Let's choose Guy. Let's be Guy and Guy. Okay. So they're laughing at me. I just kick some barrels. Punch and fight and throw and all that. It's a 2D beat 'em up. It's not a bootleg game. It was a popular game in the arcades, I believe, because I do know Final Fight. It runs reasonably well. Alright, moving on. Street Fighter 2. I'm gonna guess it's Street Fighter 2. There's no Tekken on here by default. Should have put Tekken on GBA on here. Probably wouldn't have ended well. Doesn't matter. Street Fighter 2, here we go. The almighty Street Fighter 2. It's not the Street Fighter 2 Turbo Remix Edition, Mega Remix Ultimate Super Duper HD. No, it's the World Warrior Edition. Okay, there you go. Alright, cool. Well, let's go ahead and... Oh, Ryu. It was Ryu. I was right. We'll choose Ryu. And we're going to go straight to Brazil first and defeat Blanca. I have not played a lot of Street Fighter. I was more of a Killer Instinct person than Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. So that's just me. And this doesn't run too bad. Not super smooth, but it does run. There we go. KO. Yeah, it's not too bad. Moving on to Capcom, which is Captain Commando. That makes sense now. So it's not Capcom, it's Captain Commando. But it's by Capcom anyways. Maybe this only plays Capcom games. If this is still alive by the end of the video, if someone wants to suggest something on how I can get arcade games running, please let me know. Commando. Ooh. Let's choose Ninja Commando. Let's do that. Alright. We're in a stage, and it's a beat 'em up. Pretty much the same as Final Fight. Oh. Did I just put my hand on his shoulder and went, it's alright mate, I'm gonna beat you up soon. I would say so. I've now got a sword, and this is this. Let's keep going. Dino's up next, which is, I think of Dino Crisis, but it was Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. What? The two things that you would never ever... There was a comic called Cadillacs and Dinosaurs? What even... Okay. Jack Tenrek, Hannah Dundee, who else is there? Mustafa Cairo, engineer and Jack's friend. Mess Obradovich. There is the Cadillac. There is the Cadillac. Okay, let's put some coins in. Alright, well, we'll choose Jack, because he looks like the most powerful fella. Yep, it's 2513, and dinosaurs are interfering the planet, as well as Cadillacs, or something. Oh, okay. I'm at the top of the building. Yep. And this is a beat 'em up. Exactly the same game that we just seen before. Look at the way he walks, man. That's a Chad for sure. Look at him go. Can I use special moves or anything? Yep. I just punched him straight against the wall. Come on, show us some more dinosaurs. Oh, he just punched his way through the door. He didn't want to open the door. He just punched his way through it. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Yeah, it's exactly the same as the previous game, so we'll continue on. The volume's quite loud, but that's okay. We've got Punisher up next, which, if this is not Punisher, I'll be surprised. But no, it is called the Punisher. Is it actually the Punisher, or is it something else that I'm confusing it with? I don't know. These games are all included on this by default, so... Oh yeah, it is the Punisher. Back to the war. I just jumped through the window. There's a money bag there. Can I pinch the money? Take that. Take it. Pinch it. Nope, can't do it. Just beat him up. Oh, no, I did. Okay, cool. Once again, another beat 'em up. Runs okay. Comic book style, like the Punisher was originally intended. That was in comic books originally. What's going on back there? The Punisher. Ah, you can't run, but you can't hide. No, you can run, but you can't hide. Okay, well I'm walking, but that's okay. Oh, I've got a gun now. Okay, shooting everyone. Alright, things have got interesting. Alright, we'll just move on to the next game. That was fun, though. 1944 does work, because it was one of the first games that I tried on here. I do like 1944, and the many clones and variations of this game. Quite a fun game, you know, shoot 'em up in a plane. Not much else. There we go. Do a backflip. Yep. And there you go, you just go for it, man. Yep. I mean, it's 1944. It works. You can shoot everything. It's fun. It doesn't quite run super smooth, but for the most part, if you want to just pick this up and play it, it'll work. Next is Unsquad, which is... Oh, UN Squadron. Okay. Ooh. That was an epic title screen. Well, you'll do. Is this another 1944-like game? Yep, I would say so. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, no. Gradius? I don't know. Basically 1944, but on the side. And you just shoot things, and I can just go through stuff. Yep. Okay. And the last one is MS Word, which I wonder what this game is actually titled. What is it called? Magic Sword. Ah, not Microsoft Word. Okay. You've explained everything to me now. Oh, yep. Okay. Yep. This is Magic Sword. You just... Now, playing those 12 preloaded games, you've probably been sitting back going, come on, hurry up and play the games that you've put on here yourself. Well, it's time for that. Remember the list that was shown on Wish that said it supports 12 major platforms with probably, what, 4 of them doubled? If we go to Move Disk, which is the SD card, then go to Game, I've put Atari 2600 games on here. Does this play Atari 2600? No, it does not. Does it play Game Gear? No, it does not. Does it play Game Boy Advance? Yes, it does. I have Crash Bandicoot, Donkey Kong Country, Doom, Doom 2, and Driver 2 Advance. I'm going to show you Crash Bandicoot first, because I have tested this already. So if we just... go ahead, launch it up. It's a little sort of fast, a little bit fast paced, but there you go. Title screen, new game, yep. Here we go, start a new game, and this is it. It's running a little fast, but it's kind of choppy at the same time. Not a bad game. I've actually played this on Game Boy Advance, and it's actually really a good game. It is a side-scrolling game, much like some of the original levels in the Crash trilogy, well, the original trilogy. It's the Game Boy Advance version. It works to a certain point. It's just super fast, so if you're a speedrunner, this might be something that you could play. The shoulder buttons don't do anything in a Game Boy Advance game? Oh yeah, that's right. The control scheme. Okay, so let's talk about controls with emulation. So instead of booting up a Game Boy Advance game and just playing it like a normal Game Boy Advance, you know, shoulder buttons A and B, for some reason they've assigned Y and X to the shoulder buttons. A and B are just A and B. These don't do anything. Select also doesn't do anything. Can you see that we're going to have a bit of a problem in a second? Because I have Doom on here. So this is Doom ported to Game Boy Advance, and I've played it on an actual Game Boy Advance. It's impressive for what it is, I'll say that. On this, though, yeah, I'll show you what it looks like. So we'll just start a new game, there we go. If you're wondering why I'm playing GBA and not the SNES one, it's because the SNES one doesn't... I'll show you that soon. But anyways, this is Doom. GBA, but yeah, you can shoot, right? It's lagging a bit. You can move around, and if you tried to use the analog sticks, you'd find that you're just sort of twisting these around, because look, you just... That's the face buttons there. So, okay, if we come to the end of the level, kill the imp, and now we go back, and now we'll kill this imp, we'll go over and pick up the shotgun in here, and great, I've got the shotgun, but what if I run out of ammo? What do I do? Select is the left shoulder button. Start is, of course, start. Escape just puts you back to escape. And L and R aren't shoulder buttons. They don't do anything. The volume buttons work. The on button doesn't work. They're the shoulder buttons there, and that's to fire and that's to open doors. So you are stuck with one weapon. You can't switch between weapons. So for GBA, yeah, you can play Game Boy Advance games, but the controls aren't correct because the shoulder buttons aren't assigned to the... Does this make sense? It doesn't make sense. Anyways, so that was Game Boy Advance. Alright, let's move on to Game Boy Color. Now I've got Beavis and Butthead on here and Pokemon Puzzle Challenge. These are two of my favourite games on Game Boy Color. Yes, Pokemon Gold, Pokemon Yellow and all that sort of thing are my favourite games, but I do like Pokemon Puzzle Challenge. Used to play it on my Game Boy Color all the time as a kid, and I've actually recently started playing it again because it's such a fun game. So if you do own this, check it out. It's like Tetris Attack and the game it's based on, which I don't remember the name of it. But Game Boy Emulation, meant to be on a square screen. We've got a 16:9 aspect ratio screen, and this is what it looks like. It's just a little stretched, that's okay. But for some particular reason, the emulation on Game Boy Color is worse than Game Boy Advance. Oh yeah, B is A and A is B. But once we get into the actual game, it starts to become somewhat playable because it's just a couple of sprites here and there. And yeah, you can play this. It starts to become smooth. Kind of. It's not really a great console for Game Boy emulation. For Game Boy Advance, it's not half bad. But yeah, so far, it's 4:3 aspect ratio, out the window, stretched, looking like this, and it lags. Good stuff. I probably should have put more Game Boy games on here, but this video has already gone long enough anyways, but you get the whole point. We've got Genesis and Megadrive up next, which you can play it. I've tried a 32X ROM. That's a no-go, unfortunately. I've got Jurassic Park, Shaq Fu, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Super Donkey Kong 99. Everyone knows Sonic the Hedgehog 2. On Genesis, Megadrive, everyone knows how it runs. This is what it looks like on this. Sounds great. I mean, the original voice clip on the consoles wasn't the best anyways, but there you go. Sonic the Hedgehog. Here it is. Stretched. And you're meant to be going fast with blast processing, but yeah, that's a bit choppy. It's playable, but it's a bit choppy. Bit of input lag too. The emulation for sound isn't really the best either. That could be also down to the speaker quality. Let me show you another problem with this console. Here is Jurassic Park on the Mega Drive or Genesis. Now, with Mega Drive Genesis, it has 3 buttons on the controller. For most of the games, it uses the 3-button controller. You can use the 6-button controller with some games, but those 3 buttons sometimes are just repeated. So you'd think with 3 buttons on a normal controller, they would be assigned to these 3, or these 3, or something? No, that's not the case at all. So if you were to start a new game, the music in this is great, by the way. I would highly recommend you play this game if you don't already have it. Now, in particular with this game, I don't know what buttons they have assigned, so I have a feeling that A and B are assigned, but maybe C isn't assigned to any of these buttons, because you can shoot and get flung around. You can walk around and stuff, but you can't jump. So, there's a platform right there, which I can't get past because I'm getting killed by a dinosaur, but I can't jump. No matter what I do, I cannot jump. There is no button that's assigned to jump. So they have completely stuffed up the button configuration for Genesis Mega Drive. For Sonic, that only uses the D-pad and 1 button, no problems at all. With this, that requires 1 button to jump. They haven't done it. B is to shoot and kill and stuff. A is to do something. And Y and X do nothing. So, can you see the issue with Genesis Mega Drive? It's a little bit unfortunate. So now let's move on to another game, and I'll show you the problem a little bit more. Could listen to that all day. Yep, here you go. So you can do such things as strike forward and make a King K. Rool sound, but that is it. You can't jump, you stuck. So if you want to play bootleg games on your bootleg console, you cannot do much. You cannot get past the first enemy. So I'd say Megadrive Genesis Emulation is pretty lackluster. Doesn't run at full speed, button configuration is all over the place. At least it runs. You can play some games. But anyways, MAME. Here is arcade files. I did put Tekken 3 on here. So I got the ROMs. I open Tekken 3 and it doesn't do anything. I put Mortal Kombat on here. It doesn't do anything. I put Galaga on here, or Galaga. It doesn't do anything. So I extracted the files and it doesn't do anything. So I have no clue, no idea what has happened here. I'm not sure if the original 12 games that are preloaded on this are actual arcade games or not. Because if we come down to the next category, which, well, it's N64, that's not going to play N64 games. No way, no way. We have NeoGeo here, which I've got Double Dragon and King of Fighters 2002. If we load Double Dragon, it has a same loading screen just there. So I have a feeling those were NeoGeo games at the start, not arcade games. But that's it. That's as far as we get. We see a loading screen and that's it. Nothing else. So then if I come to King of Fighters 2002, which it'll display that again very quickly and kick me out of it. It did say you can play arcade stuff as well as NeoGeo, but as for them working though, I can't get them working apart from the preloaded games, which for the preloaded games I cannot find on the internal storage even when connected to a computer, so I have no idea with that one. But anyways, moving on to NES, I have Grandad 7. This was a request for me to put this on the console and demonstrate for you all. I will not do that as of yet, but I will show you Super Mario Bros. The #1 game that is on every Famiclone bootleg system, Super Mario Bros. How does it run? You can't stuff up NES emulation, or can you? Well, it's stretched. That's the first thing. But here we go. The sound's a little bit off. It runs, okay. You know. It will do, and the button layout is correct. There's not much to it. I'll show you this Grandad 7 because this is a meme game. Yep. If you have not heard of this game, this is a bootleg game of the Flintstones NES game with Mario. It still has the same Flintstones cutscenes. Oh yeah, I've got to move, my bad. You are Mario on Fred's body. You've got Mario's head on Fred's body. And it's Mario swinging a club. Gotta say, the emulation's not too bad for this, though. Yeah, this game exists. Why they've put Mario's head on Fred beats me, and why have they called it Grandad beats me as well. But NES emulation is not too bad. It's okay. It will do. I should have put more games on here. PS1, of course PS1's not gonna work. If you try and play a PS1 game, you end up, causing the system to crash. So you use the handy-dandy reset button to reset it, and you can keep going. And once again, we're going to see, get ready for it, hold your horses. Tekken, possibly all Tekken. And we're back. So that leaves us with Super Nintendo. I've got Donkey Kong Country, Doom, twice, and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers The Fighting Edition. But I'll show you Doom first. So I thought it was maybe a ROM issue. I put it down to the Super FX chip that was in the SNES version of Doom. But yeah, Doom, title screen, cool. But once it tries to load gameplay, it crashes, and that's it. So we've got to use the handy-dandy reset button and reset it, and off we go again. I just thought Donkey Kong Country being one of the staple games of the Super Nintendo, let's see how it goes. This is how it runs on the X7 thing. Once again, aspect ratio, stretched. Press start, there's Donkey Kong Country there. Looking good, right? Clicky buttons, off we go, start a new game, here we go. And it runs a little something like this. It's, look, it's playable. It's Switch to Diddy, just lost Diddy. Yeah, the controls are a bit backwards. Instead of holding that to run and that to jump, it's a bit switched. But yeah, it's a little laggy, and I should have tested a game with shoulder buttons to actually see if they did anything. I think you get the idea, that this is advertised as a games console. Yes, it can play some games at a reasonable frame rate, but other than that, it's pretty low spec. The controls aren't the greatest, everything's stretched, sound emulation's not good. There's not a lot of redeeming factors about this. It is a cheap console sold on Wish and AliExpress and all that sort of thing. It's a PS Vita that's got a Nintendo Switch colorway, that's it, and a camera that can't do video recording. There's not really much to this, and I've spent a whole lot of time just rambling about this console, and there's nothing really redeeming about this thing at all, except for the 12 preloaded games that I'm thinking are NeoGeo instead of arcade now. What else can we do with this? That's really it, to be honest. I've showed you emulation, I've showed you a movie playing on this, music, camera, photos, text files, file manager, tools, which is just a voice recorder, settings, and themes, which we should change again. Would I recommend buying this? No. Your phone can do better emulation and more features than this. It's just that you have dedicated controls, but they stuffed up the control scheme with most of the emulation, so you're kind of just left with a hollow piece of plastic. Let's tear this thing down, man. There's nothing good about this. It said power off now. I've wasted so much time talking about this console. The good stuff's going to be inside of it. Let's tear it down, which I believe we're going to need two tools, a spudger and a Phillips head. So we just go ahead and take the screws off. Taking the 4 screws out, we should be able to gain access to the innards of our console. Yes, indeed, we certainly can. Alright, let's get a good look at the innards. Oh boy. Oh, okay. Alright. So, we do actually have spaces for 2 speakers. Hello! I knew it! Haha! Well now, we have something interesting to have a look at. We'll come back to that, of course, we'll come back to that. There is only one solder point for the speaker though, but I'll try and remove this. I wonder what happens if we try and boot this thing up without that microSD card being in there. The back of it there, so yeah, they do have the options for dual speakers, but only one in this, and also there's no camera plastic, it's just a hole. Our 2000 milliamp hour battery appears to be a 1500 milliamp hour one that is just soldered in place just there. The speaker's actually a fairly decently sized one. Also, they've used this orange hot glue stuff to glue the battery down and the microSD card as well, which that's perfectly fine. We'll just go ahead and just rip that off. Aha, okay. What is it? Is this the 8GB of storage? It is. So, okay, so instead of putting actual storage on here, they just... Okay, I'm going to dump the files off this, because I have a feeling that's going to be system files. What is under this? What is this? Oh, is this just for the speaker? Yeah, that's for the speaker. Okay, we've got a couple of screws holding down the motherboard, and I'll also take a look at the camera as well quickly, which I'll just show you. There is a YD70452. I'll Google that and see if that comes up with anything, but it looks pretty much like the front camera of some Wacom devices that we've had a look at. Nothing too spectacular there. But now, if we lift out the guts of the X7, oh, okay, so you gotta pull these off. Righto, yep, and there we go. Wonderful. This is our console. The LCD screen is just soldered. No, oh, hello. That's kind of cool. Do we have any codes on this by any chance? No. We do have tape though, which is good. Yeah, that's the LCD there, the 4.3-inch LCD. But we do have the, remember, the SL chip in here, which is just that thing there, G20S. I'll Google this and see if this comes up with anything. But the motherboard is basically just this. I thought there may have been an epoxy blob or something like that. This is all you get. Let's go ahead and boot this up then, and see what happens. Ah, of course, nothing happens. It doesn't know what to boot from, which makes sense. So now if I use the almighty 8GB SD card that they've included, I'll just stick that in there like so, and now it should boot up, presumably. Yep, there you go. That is what contains the system files. And Tekken. Yep. Oh, that's right, the speaker's still attached to it. You're probably better off using it like this. It looks cooler. You know, hot glue the screen down, you should be all good. Actually, what happens if we were to disconnect the SD card while it's running? What happens? Oh. The SD card has been pulled out. Oh, yep, there you go, just freezes. Oh, no, wait, no. Wait, what? Oh, no, everything's starting to glitch up now. Okay. And it just died. What I'm going to do, I'm going to check the system contents of this. I'll dump the system files off, and I'll put this back together off camera, and then we'll finish this very long video. Do I need to show anything else of this? Maybe it was supposed to have a touchscreen, but they haven't implemented it. Let me go ahead and check the file contents of this. Okay, it's back together. I didn't really put it back together properly, but it's fine. It works. It reads the memory card on board, and it reads my memory card that I've put in. I've managed to get the files off the internal memory card. The partition format was raw, so I couldn't really just get into it, and I didn't want a format to lose all the data, so I had to run a program to scan for lost files on the partition, and I ended up getting two lost partitions. One was the user partition, and one was the system partition. The second partition did come with all of the games that it said on the wish listing. However, I'm not going to put them in the upload in the description because of obvious reasons, but the games are on this memory card. I have tried several button configurations and all that to try and get this to boot to those inbuilt games, but I cannot work it out for the life of me. I thought the on button may have something to do with it, but it doesn't, so I held like L and R, I think it was R that I held, and it just does a black screen and that's it. It's on, blue LED's on, but it won't boot now. So there's obviously some sort of button configuration that is explained in the instructions, and because I don't have the instructions, I've tried a bunch of them, but it's probably some stupid configuration that I just don't know. But if you know it, please let me know. It would have been cool to demonstrate it booting up into like another menu for the onboard games, but I think we've seen enough in this 50-minute video already. I've shown you everything that this console does. It's emulation potential, which it lacks, unfortunately, and that is pretty much it, my friends. That is all I can really say about this console. So I'll just switch it off. I've already torn it down. We've already had a look at the guts. The partition that I got off this is in the description below. And with all that being said and done, that's going to do it for another episode of iWish. Perhaps I should have a look at one of the bigger ones to see if it's any better, or if it runs Android or something like that. I do have a similar one in my collection that's a JXD gamepad or something like that, which is running Android 4 point something, and that's not a bad emulator. Since this one was under 50 bucks, I thought I'd show it off and see how it goes, and well, it's not that great. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the first installment of the iWish series in 2022. I'm very sorry that I did lack uploading content, you know, throughout January and the start of February, but now it should be all good now. Just dealing with some personal stuff in real life, but that's pretty much all sorted, so it should be all good, back on track, here we go. So I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this video for what it was. Timestamps in the description as well, so you can skip to wherever you need to be. I don't expect you to watch the whole 50-minute video, even though this is going to be a premiere, because why not? Just showing off the games did take a lot of time in this video, but I wanted to make sure that you folks got a good idea of the potential of the console, and I think we all know now how useless it pretty much is. But if you can tell me how to boot to those other games, however I can play NeoGeo or Arcade, let me know down in the comments, and I'll try it out and reply back to your comment and let you know. But otherwise, everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it, but don't worry, another iWish video is coming soon, and it is a brand new phone straight from Wish. I can't wait to show you it all. But in the meantime, thanks again for watching, I really do appreciate it, and as always, take care, stay safe, be good people, and I'll see you all in the next video. Oh boy, another Wish phone. That's gonna be fun. If you like this content, feel free to leave a like or a dislike if you didn't. Thanks heaps for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.